Good morning, YouTube. Well, today I'm in St. George, Utah, and we're going to visit the home, or the winter home, of Brigham Young. Go through this walkway with the fig trees, and this was his winter home. He bought this. This is the original home. He bought this in 1872, moved down here in 1873. Climate was a little bit more conducive to his for his health. A little bit warmer, drier climate. He had this addition put on, which, when you think additions, usually you think the smaller part but it's all adobe. You can get in when you get inside, you should be able to see just how thick these walls are. But they never plastered this. They did or anything. The climate is dry enough. That's 150 years of weathering, and we're going to go around. This was the original front door. The front door now is around the other side, and we're going to go in that way and take a look. So this is some of the crops that they would have had down here. I mean, you got a vineyard and you got your cotton plants. These are they did a lot of cotton growing down here because a lot of the Mormons that settled in this area were from the south and Texas and so on. So this is sort of, they call this Mormon Dixie or Utah Dixie. Because of that, because of a lot of Southerners. But they knew how to grow the cotton, and it became a major cash crop for them. And the trouble is, how do you ship raw cotton when you don't have the Mississippi, the big rivers to ship those big bales? So eventually, they built a factory with a cotton gin and looms and so on, and making the thread and making it into cloth. A lot easier to ship cloth than the raw cotton. So let's go inside and take a look. So this would have been the original front porch facing on this street, and then this would have been the entranceway. There's the back door. But when they added on that side, turned this room into a formal dining room with the same type of fireplace, metal insert, and pine painted to look like white marble in this case. So this is the kitchen. And, we've seen wood stoves like this before. But what I haven't seen is an iron like this one. I mean, we're used to seeing the ones like this. We warm them on the stove. But this one, you actually could put coals down inside. And if it started to get cool, you could swing it back and forth so the air puffed down in and revive the coals and get it a little hotter, which probably got to be an interesting art but I've never seen one like that before. So this is original fireplace. It does have a metal insert, and what looks like marble is actually pine painted to look like marble, which totally amazes me. And another example, this is this bookcase. It's pine, but it's painted to look like a hardwood. And this piano was known as a wagon box piano.
A box grand piano.
Okay, a box grand piano. But the way they're made, if you take the legs off, you could put this in a wagon and stack one on top of the other, which would be quite a load. So we're up here above the kitchen in the helper's room. And this sewing machine is 1862, but it's got place for 2 feet, which is unusual from what I've seen. But you could get this going, that flywheel. If you got going, you could take your feet off and rest your legs for a little bit. But think about sewing on this was so much easier than doing everything by hand. And the little spindle doll, see, made out of a spindle. So this is Brigham's bedroom. This is one of his actual beds, and of course he's got the stool we were just talking about. Instead of kneeling down on the floor, kneeling on that. A lot easier as you get older. He had trouble going up and down stairs, so eventually the food was brought up to him, which explains why possibly why there's the tables in here. This was his dresser, and you can see it's labeled, numbered 1 through 4 for the drawers. If you look close, none of those drawers are the same size. So traveling, bringing things down here, they could easily know where the drawers went when they put it back together. And it's one of the few pieces here that isn't painted to look like something other than the pine. But there's a veranda outside, and you can see with the windows just how thick the adobe walls are. And this is the color this room was. And it's reminiscent of the room I saw upstairs in Monticello. So here's the door. This is the room next to Brigham's bedroom, and this is the door to get out onto the veranda that wraps around the 2 sides. And this couch, during the day, people could sit on it, and if you can see the legs below, it could pull out and be made into just a single bed, or pulled out and made into a bigger bed, so people could sleep. Here, there's another one downstairs in the entranceway. So you come out the front door. Off to the left is the office he built, and we're gonna take a look inside. It's nothing real fancy on the outside, but nice little building. This is the inside of his office. He built this about 4 years after purchasing the house, and he needed a private office away from the business and the temple and all that. How it goes. Get a little privacy, get more work done. But this is a portrait of Brigham Young. All right, that's going to end my visit here to Brigham Young's winter home. I don't know if I mentioned it, but he did move down here in the winter for his health. As we get older, he had rheumatism, arthritis, and the drier, warmer climate here than up north. But he was able to keep in touch with church headquarters. He was a big thing for the telegraph. So anyway, I'm going to get on the road and see what else I can find around the area before I head further south. See you later, YouTube.